The structural state for individuals to heal themselves, is for them to have an understanding structure of dominance, as to have that full control over self, mind, body, spirit, soul, and heart. So many individuals need to heal themselves, as many of them is lacking when it comes to forgiveness, the self-control accelerant that deals with each matter at hand, and helps the individual to heal. You cannot heal if you don't know how to start the healing process, as it's a mild walk into some entrances of ways. You cannot heal if you insist on keeping things and individuals tied up in your heart and mind. A self-motivated aspect that leads to true healing each and every day, will eventually get one onto the path of complete healing. I know for some it might not be easy, but the best solution is to try. Some stubborn individuals persist on holding on to anger against everyone that did them wrong, and all it does is make them so bitter with a short fuse that is ready to go off at any time. I've had many experiences in life, and I can say that I too carried pain, hate and anger for those that did me wrong, and then I realized with an intervention that I needed to truly forgive and let go everyone, because I was just making myself a cold-hearted individual without care, and it was just making me sick to the core. All I was doing then was hating myself, because I wasn't loving myself enough to forgive those that did me wrong and move on with my life. I know that there are so many individuals that in life somehow, went through the episode of experiences that really challenged their emotions, mentality, life, and ordinance. And some saw the truth of all matters and choose to forgive and move on, because that heavy burden was too much to bear. A few months ago I met a man who was very fond of me and he wanted to start a relationship between him and I, but you know what? He was suited with anger, pain, hated and everything etc., and they stood in the way. It seemed as a child and growing up, he was ill-treated, neglected and abused by his parents, and all through his years of living he still holds that grudge, anger, and hate, no love, just a cold hurting heart that really needs to be healed. And with a split personality, he would just trip at times when he hears about forgiving those who did him wrong or parents neglecting children. He even became very aggressive. One time I was trying to talk to him, I actually saw the dark side of him. Actually, his life is all based on revenge, pain, and bitterness, and a way to get back at his parents for what they did him as a child and growing up. He even went as far as to mention that he is waiting until he dies to meet them face to face and tell them off. What wayward, damaged mental thoughts! And all I could do is feel sorry for this man because he is so filled with anger towards his parents that he continued to let it get in the way of his life and happiness. And I pray that he really find his true self to forgive those that did him wrong, move on and live his life. I tried talking and motivating him, but he was getting very aggressive and dangerous, and that is uncharted territory for me. No one with that kind of attitude and mentality cannot be happy, as they are so focused on revenge and anger that they are overlooking life. And as I told him, my life has no space for a revengeful individual who persists in holding on to anger that long. As much as some individuals try, no one cannot build a relationship off of anger, hate or unforgiveness, if that individual does not try to change their damaged ways. I know my boundaries, and that does not include taking on a situation in my life that could bring me harm. I will not do it in no way, shape, or form. Pain is never permanent. There is in fact a healing process that can be applied, if one is willing to start the application of healing. Time heals all causes. If you will yourself to be healed, time always accelerates in ways. It is the passage that helps and makes everything done. It is always at a steady pace, but it has no feet to run. Yes. Healing does take time, but anger takes life. That is the big difference. Opening up one's heart to healing, is an individual softening the outer hard-inflicted core, as it's a self-healing from obstacles in past or present ways. For instance, when the body gets cut, it automatically starts to heal itself, the blood clots after a few minutes, and the healing process begins. So why can't individuals let their true instincts of healing begin, instead of giving it a reverse swing, that just turns them into individuals with cold hearts of unforgiveness, etc., that just act so very mean, angry and frustrated? Healing is a process that everyone should have, a way that should be embedded in them as a mandatory and peaceful flow. Without healing, individuals have no consciousness of where they are going, as they just fuel themselves with all the grudge, anger, and hate, to get set off by it any reminder etc., that help cause the pain. Yes. Elements that most of them try to build on, that just act as ammunition that can go off at any time. Life is not based on holding on to what or whoever try to make your life a living hell, it's about trying to divert from the situation and move on, learn from every bad aspect and get stronger. Just like any area of application that an individual is weak in, with experience of workmanship they get stronger in that area, and expertise follow, with a strong knowledge to understand. Life is no different, as with every experience of pain etc., that an individual accumulate through the years, why not use that ammunition for growth, to gain strength and knowledge to direct self on a better path in life? And with that, a healing process will be able to be applied to the causes, that was a disruption in your life. Why stay unhappy and angry when you could be free and happy? Life is about freedom, the growth of evolving, sharing, caring and showing authentic love to self and others. Yes. Sometime you might find those lucent ones that try to challenge your true caring way, and it's best to move on to someone that really needs help. Sometime in difficult situation you must love from afar. Staying with someone with a mentality of anger, hate and revenge isn't the safest person to be with or around. Those individual needs to work on themselves, and if they are not willed to help themselves, you will just be wasting your time, energy, and maybe risking your life. Life is not about being angry with everyone that did you wrong, and passing on the anger to others. Individuals need to truly forgive and move on. I know you cannot forget, but still. Just let it be when you remember anything, that it does not create a tear in your mind, heart, or soul. Just let that reminder be of, I was there but I'm not anymore, I've moved on and I'm a free loving person today, I will not hold any more anger, hatred, or unforgiveness. I will make myself free and happy. A good change is good and it can start with a true self-healing, instead of holding on to individuals, anger, and hate, that only helps to torment self. Always remember that forgiveness is the beginning of self-healing, and no one cannot help you if you continue to be stubborn and is not willing to help yourself.